Hello guys, I'm Naman Gupta, a final year computer science student from IIIT Sonipat. And hi Pratyush, can you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Pratyush Garg, a second year computer engineering student at NSUT New Delhi.
Okay. Uh, Today we're here to present our cryo winter of doing final project. Our project is Contextual Chatbot for the Grow website. Grow is an investment platform where users can invest into mutual funds, stocks, and FDs. The Grow website requires a contextual chatbot which presents users with FAQs that are based on the current scenario and hence improves the user experience. Now, Pratyush should give a demo of the project and talk about a few features around it.
Hey everyone, so now let's start with the site demo. This is the base site that we have developed for demonstrating the interaction between the chatbot and the Grow website. This is the Chatbot Ui, where the user will be provided options containing questions that will be corresponding to the context that the user is in. This context is taken from the site that they are in, the page they are visiting, stocks, mutual funds, a particular stock, and so on, as well as their user context, whether they are logged in, logged out, their user data, and so on. The base site also contains stocks, mutual funds, fixed deposits, and other pages that the user can visit. There are also specific stocks and so on. Now let's try interacting with the chatbot. So the user asks the question and the corresponding answer is provided. Let's try switching the context. So when we visit a particular stock page, the context changes and so do the questions inside the chatbot. Let's try asking what is the last traded price of the stock. So the correct data is fetched from whatever stock the user is visiting. The context switching also works correctly for other pages. Now let's try logging in. Before logging in, the questions that the user has are how to log in, how many ways are there to log in. But after logging in, the context switches and now the user gets, can I order stocks and how can I get my full KYC? Let's try logging in with another user. This user has their KYC completed in their user data. So this data is also fetched and used in the answers. Uh, in case the user is not able to get some satisfactory questions, then they can also ask for personalized guidance in the form of contact us. They will be asked to enter their email ID. This email ID will be stored and they can be contacted further on for personalized assistance. In case they want to visit all the FAQs, then a link is provided to the official FAQ page of Grow's site. Now Naman will present the decision tree model that we have built for this chatbot.
For the conversation model, we have used a decision tree structure where every node has an evaluation condition attached to it, according to which a child node is chosen. Once the node is a leaf node, the questions attached to the node are shown to the users. So, for example, the flow starts with the root node. The root node has an evaluation condition of page wherein the user context that which page the user is on currently is used to evaluate the child node. So for example, the user is on the orders page. Now, as the orders page is not a leaf node, we evaluate its evaluation condition, which is the login status. Now, if the user is not logged in, we move on to the not logged in node and we show the questions related to the not logged in context. Otherwise, if the user is logged in, we move on to the logged in node, evaluate KYC status, and show corresponding questions to it. Now, Pratyush would take you through the admin UI and show you how to add a few questions.
Now let's see the admin UI interface for the chatbot. there are two panels, an add questions panel and a data analysis panel. The data analysis panel records the number of times a particular question is called. They are sorted they are sorted by their frequency. This can help the company to better understand their user base. Now let's see the add questions panel. The add questions panel is used to add question and answer to a particular node in the decision tree that we had seen earlier. First of all, we select a particular node, suppose the gold. Now the gold node is already a leaf node, so now let's try the orders node. After selecting the orders node, we now choose one of its children node and so on till we reach a leaf node. For the leaf node, the question and answers are loaded. We can add another question and answer to this list. Also, there is a decorators list. This decorators list is used to provide dynamic information from the current context that the user is in into the answer. For example, if the admin wants to include the user's first name, then they can just use this decorator user.first name, include it in the answer to output it to the user when the particular question is triggered. Now let's try adding a question. We'll add it in a particular stocks page. These are the questions already present in the particular stocks page. Let's try adding one more. We'll add what is the market cap for this stock. For this, we'll use the decorator stock.stats.market cap. To include the decorator, we'll nest it with a single quote and a plus sign. Now let's add it. So the question is added to the list. We can also see that it will be reflected in the chatbot in real time. Let's try visiting a node which will switch the context. So the question is added here. You can also try asking. The correct relevant information is provided by the chatbot. Now Naman will walk us through the implementation details.
For building the project, we have used MERN stack, which is React.js for the front end, Express.js and Node.js for the backend, and MongoDB as our database. For the project structure, we have divided the project into 4 parts, where the first part is the Grow front-end website. Here, everything regarding the Grow website and the chatbot is made. For making the chatbot, we have used the React Chatbot Kit. In the admin UI front-end, we have defined the complete front-end application for the admin panel. For the backends, we have 2 backends. One is the Grow backend. In the Grow backend, we have all the details regarding the stocks and the user details, which is being served to the website and to the bot. The bot backend has the conversation model programmed into it and the complete conversation data, which is used to display conversation details into the chatbot. For the bot backend, we have used 2 schemas to display arrange the complete data. In the first schema is a conversation node where we store the complete decision tree, and the second schema is the question where we store the actual questions. In the conversation node schema, we have an ID which is used to identify a particular node. We have a children's array. We have a is leaf node flag, which defines if the current node is a leaf node or not. Then we have an evaluation condition, where this evaluation condition evaluates to a value which is ID for a children node, for a child node of the current node. And finally, we have a questions array, which has all the questions details into it. For example, if we are on the orders page, the ID would be the orders. Children would be logged in and not logged in, and corresponding evaluation condition would be logged in. And is leaf node would be false because the current node is not a leaf node. And finally, the questions array would be empty. At the same time, for a stocks page, which is a leaf node, the children's array would be empty and the evaluation condition would be empty as well. And the is leaf node flag would be defined to true, and the questions array will have IDs for the questions in the question database. For the question schema, we have a question parameter, which is a string that has the question statement. Then we have an answer parameter, which is of type function. Now, here we use a functionality in MongoDB where we store a JavaScript function definition into Mongo, which is being evaluated every time a request is made from the chatbot to fetch the answers. Now, this function helps us to access dynamic values and append those inside the answer string. Then we have a frequency parameter which stores the number of times this question has been asked by the user.
Now let's move to the final thoughts. So Naman, what was the most difficult part according to you in this project?
So, according to me, the most difficult part was to design the decision tree structure and think about which evaluation condition would be best to place under a particular node. So we deliberated a lot on different ways that the current context could be chosen. So first of all, we thought that if the user is logged in or not should be at the highest priority, but then we figured out that this evaluation condition won't divide the questions very specifically, so we went with the division according to the pages first, and then we made our way to it. Yeah. So how about you tell us about a hack that you used to overcome a problem in the project?
For reloading the questions inside the chatbot, we simulated opening and closing the chatbot within a span of 10 milliseconds. So that was a nifty hack we used. And also for storing the message history of the chatbot interaction with the user, we used session storage to store the messages that the user had.
Okay, that was a nice hack. Yeah. So how about you tell us a few improvements that could be made in the project?
For further work, we can work on parsing the user messages. So we can work on an NLP or string matching functionality in case user inputs some custom questions.
Yeah, for the backend, I think we can add a new functionality where we could have a question ladder where the next question is dependent on the user input. So basically, if we ask a particular question, like we are on a orders page, then the user wants to know details about a particular order, then we could maybe show options as all the order IDs that the user has, and then the user could select an order ID, and according to that we show the further questions. So
yeah, that's an idea to work upon.
Yeah. So this marks the end of our demo, and thank you for watching.